It came in my time in my life when I needed it most and literally saved my life. So it gives me that purpose to continue going every day.
When everything is falling apart, can working harder be the solution? This is the Voice in the Wind podcast. My name is Maverick.
And I'm Toby Lyles, the father of my esteemed son. And today we have Shann Schinkel. Here we go. When we met, I was interested because the Wyoming Senior Olympics, you took an organization that, if I remember right, was near the end, at the end.
It was.
And grew it, brought it up to something. And that is, of course, exactly the entrepreneurial mindset. Probably not the first time you've done something like that.
No, it's not.
Okay.
But it came in my time in my life when I needed it most and literally saved my life. So it gives me that purpose to continue going every day. So, I think I shared a little. I have a military background. I'm a disabled vet. So I have TPI and PTSD. And so those have played major factors throughout my life. They've played with some challenges that I've had to face. Prior to 2020, the Wyoming Senior Olympics is a 501c3 nonprofit. They were housed with recreation centers. So primarily, we were here in Cheyenne, but there was Laramie, Sheridan. The recreation center, the recreation director would take it under their belt, and their staff would run the event. And there was usually a winter event and a summer event. And they would run those events throughout the state in the different host communities that were selected. Well, here we find ourselves 2020. We're all closed down. A lot of staff changes, a lot of budget cuts. We come back in 21 and we have a meeting with the city man or the mayor at the time here, Mr. Collins, and I love the man to death because I not only did I know him as the mayor of the city, but I also knew him. I'm a cyclist, and so he ran the cycling shop here and worked on my bike for years and years for me. So I had that connection with him. And I walked into that meeting thinking we would still be housed under the city recreation. We'd have the staff. The Wyoming Senior Olympics had advertised for a part-time executive director. And I was at a dark place in my life at that time. I had retired in 2018. Coached for 25 years, ran a golf course in Rawlins, built an aquatic center in Rawlins, trained all the staff, made sure that place was up and running, and then I decided, okay, it's time for me to go ahead. It's in good hands. You know, in retirement, I was excited going into it. This is going to be great. I'm going to train. I'm going to do the Ironman. I had done a couple of Ironmans and they were under my belt at that point in time. So I'm going to jump into this and going to go for it. You can only train for so long and your body starts saying, hey, calm down, chill out. And I stopped training somewhat, found myself in this dark place, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. I'm fighting the VA to get my benefits. I'm fighting to even be seen by a doctor. I knew there was stuff going on and something wrong, but I couldn't get seen. But I wasn't going to give up. You know, I kept hearing there's changes coming. Every time I'd go in, there's changes coming. There's changes coming. So I knew I needed something more. I didn't know what it was at that time. Luckily now I do know looking back, but at that time I didn't know what was going on. What am I missing here? There were days dark, very, very dark. Lost both my parents. They were my best friends at that point in time. I'm an avoidant. I learned that I'm avoidant and I tuck everything in. And so I did that for so long that 2018 I thought, okay, here it is. I'm going to burst out. I'm going to go retire. I'm going to travel. I'm going to do all these things with my partner. And that didn't work out. So here in 2022, I'm sick myself. The relationship has gone the wrong way, wrong direction, and I didn't want to live anymore. I wanted to go be with mom and dad. Honest, and I'm being honest right now. Yeah, I was done. I was like, meh, I've had enough. I feel like I've fulfilled, I've been blessed on so many stages. I've been blessed, but I've also met some really dark challenges, and I've made it through them. But I'm tired. I'm tired, and I'm in my late 50s. I'm sick myself right now. I'm done. And so I laid on the floor and was going to take my life. I knew I was in trouble that night. I knew it. And thank goodness, this transition, so I'd been fighting the VA to get my benefits. And so right in here, I start getting answers from the VA. I was starting to in the 2021 timeframe and beginning of 2022. I'm starting to get answers from the VA, and they're starting to set up appointments, and I'm starting to see doctors, and this is all going really well.
You find yourself in a dark place because you've lost so much. Yeah, 22. You've lost so much. And I think you've said that the Senior Olympics helped save you out of that. I really have two questions here. I'm going to stick with the first one, which is, at that moment that you were on the floor,
what went through my head?
What saved you? Why didn't you go through with it?
My son, for one. And the second, my siblings. They're amazing. Friends. Wyoming Senior Olympics. Yep. By that time, I starting to meet the athletes. Met several of them as an athlete myself throughout. I met them. But here I am now. They're looking at me for guidance and leadership. And I'm falling apart behind the scenes. I'm falling apart. Laying on that floor, I said, I'm in trouble. I go and I prayed. God, I know I've left you, and I'm sorry I've left you and I've doubted you. But at this moment, I'm in trouble. And if you don't intervene, I'm going to go see my mom and dad because I'm ready to go see them. And I can't do this to my son. I'm a Catholic, and we don't take our lives, right? So I laid there and I'm like, I can't do this to my son. I just can't do this to him. I can't do that to my friends, my siblings. I can't do this to the people I've met. And I want to make a difference in their lives. I want to be that person that makes a difference in their lives. I picked up the phone and I called the VA for help.
Wow.
Yep. And I said, I'm in trouble. I need help. I need help now. And then I called a young man who had been my trainer. He's my son's age. My son knows him really well, but he had been my personal trainer. I called him and I said, hey, buddy, I'm in trouble. I need you to reach out to my son because it can't be me right now. And just let him know I'm going to go get help. And so I did. I got the help I needed. And I'll tell you what, wow. They reached out, got me, wrapped me in their arms, embraced me and took care of me, took me through therapy. I did PTSD training, which I was terrified to go through that 12-week course because I was told it was rough and that I may go to that black and dark place again around week 4, week 6. Sure enough. But I had a phone call to my brother and I'm like, hey, bro, I'm in a bad place right now again. And I thought I got out of it, but I'm here again. And I know if I can make it through this program and I can hang on, I'm going to be okay because they're giving me the tools right now. They're going to get me to that other side where I need to be. And my brother, was there for me. He talked me through, walked me through, and helped me through that. My middle sister, I relied on her and my little sister and my son. If I didn't have those and a good girlfriend of mine that I had literally just met and now today is one of my best friends, they helped me through that dark place and get through that PTSD training. which is very intense. I know I've said that. It's very intense, but oh my gosh, it is so well worth getting through. It was the best thing. It saved me. It literally saved me. So I get out of that part of it, and I still have Wyoming Senior Olympics.
Yeah.
So now my focus is, I'm taking off with this. We're going to go. So I jump in, and then we meet the mayor, and that meeting doesn't go. We walk out, and there's several board members with me that day that we walked out of that meeting, and we walk out, and we're standing in the foyer there, and I'm like, whoa, what did I just get myself into? We're out on our own. This organization is literally out on our own. The mayor, they don't have the funding. They do not have the staff. They've lost a lot of staff. But they've all said if we needed any assistance or any help, we could always come back and, ask for help or assistance. And we're standing out there, and I can remember a couple of board members looking at me going, I don't know what we're going to do, where we go from here.
This is a really good story, and I want to pause for actually another really good story. I've got Tate Schrock with Edge Flight. When we talked, Tate, right at the beginning, you told me the story and all of our listeners and how you found a weather balloon satellite, on your farm, on your family's farm, and you're building that, and you're helping other people essentially find the same, because you kind of like reverse engineered it, and now you built a business off of that. So can you tell us about these satellites?
Sure. I've started my journey as a self-taught learner. One, it goes back all the way to when a weather balloon landed in my front yard. I took it apart, started building things that also go to the edge of space, whether it's CubeSats, whether it's weather balloon kits, and wanted to make sure that other learners, other explorers, and other people, even hobbyists and professionals alike, can all take that same technology and explore their own missions, get to the edge of space on their own balloons, and explore the unknown. Whether it's even at the edge of space or even just in a classroom environment, we build the technology that empowers those individuals to do that. Whether it's schools, hobbyists, professionals, all alike, we build that entire ecosystem.
I just love that it started with you kind of tinkering. And what I like too is that you're sending people a box, you're sending kids a box so they can get a bunch of electronic parts, kind of like you got on the farm. And they get this opportunity to put together something that can fly.
Yep. It's the opportunity of a lifetime, all inside of a kit that we make available to anyone, whether you want to tailor it for a specific mission, whether you have a learner that's specifically focused in learning more science, or maybe it's one that's focused on atmospherics, maybe it's meteorology. We cover the entire broad scope in our educational kits.
That's cool. If they're going to find that, where should they go?
Check out edgeflight.com/VOTW.
You walk out of the mayor's office. Mm-hmm. Your board's looking at you like, what do? We don't know. Which I'll bet you're hoping the board would have an idea. You go home, you think about it. What's the first thing that you did?
First step, sat down and jotted down what I felt this was going to need to look like and going to look like. Okay. Steps. Who are my first contacts? Who do I need to reach out to? And my first thought was Governor Gordon.
Okay.
He was one of the first ones I reached out to. I reached out to his office online and asked for an appointment. Wow. And I went in and met with Governor Gordon.
Did you already have a relationship?
At that point, no, I didn't. I highly respected him, and obviously we all know him and the position he's in, but no, I did not have a relationship with him at that time.
Had you ever made an ask that big before?
Yes. Okay. I worked with 4-star generals in my job.
So not a problem for you.
Not a problem for me. So when I put that big ask out to the governor, first, I reached out to his office and I asked for him to walk we had a parade of athletes. The very first night of the opening of the Wyoming Senior Olympics, we would do a parade of the athletes. And I asked him through the online and his staff, of course, if he would be our speaker and also walk with the athletes. And he did that night. Wow. He did. He came out. We had a very low crowd. That was kind of the sad point for me, and thinking, oh man, I want this big for Governor Gordon to see because I know where this can go. I I have this feeling within me, we're going to go big. We're going to get bigger. This is our first time out on our own. And I'm not sure if the governor really knows that we're out here on our own.
Okay.
You know, at that time. But he was so gracious. He came out, did everything. Second year, I come in, I made the appointment, met with him. He's like, I'm going to get you in touch with our Department of Health, Aging Division. They're going to help you. We're going to find some funding, write your legislators. And so I started doing all that.
Okay.
That is where I felt my first steps. We need funding. Where should we go for this funding? You know, you can ask the sponsors, but sponsors get hit up so hard by so many other organizations. So mine was go big.
Wow.
And so I did step on that stage, and the governor guided us and guided me. And then First Lady has been amazing in there as well. He came out our second year and also did a speech, and he did a walk of the athletes for us our second year. That's why I said we have great support with the governor. Now, though, I know he's going out. I'm like sad he's going out, but he's given me someone else to be in contact with, Curtis, to be in contact with, and hopefully we can find other avenues and funding. And then him starting up that GMO office, the Governor's Grant Management Office. What a great office to have for all of us out there. And I'm going to take, full advantage. So go back, applied for a grant with the Department of Health. Aging Division. They awarded us $69,000. $30,000 of that was to go towards scholarship to our Wyoming senior athletes, paying for their registration, taking care of them. And so here we thinking we could go back for. Of course, that all was frozen, taken away. So let's go. Now what are we going to do? Got elected onto the board of directors at the national level. So I go to the very first conference of Wyoming Senior Olympics in November of 24. And I'm not sure. That's the first one I've been to, but I've been in recreation before. I've been at that higher stage. I'm like, okay, I can figure this out. I'm a people person, so I love introducing myself and talking about our elevator pitch to everyone. So I made my rounds around that room, introducing and talking about the Wyoming Senior Olympics and where we were at and what we were doing. And at the end of the meeting, my name gets called up that I've been nominated to be voted on the West Region Rep.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, okay. And I'm elected to be, and I'm like, okay. And here we are in November of 24, and I'm sitting in a room, and I've been elected to the board of directors as the West Region Rep at the National Senior Games. And then later on, they go and they give out the awards for the top performance of the states. And these are all the states. And they had done the T-shirt award. I thought I put us in for all of them just to see. Right. Go big.
That's right.
And they announced, the T-shirt. We didn't get it. We didn't get the website. And I'm sitting there, oh, bummer. We worked really hard. Our team, our board of directors, we all worked really hard for this. It's okay. It's okay. We'll come back next year. I now have a conference under my belt. I'm understanding at the national level. We'll come after this next year. And they go to announce the top award, and they call out Wyoming Senior Olympics. I yell. I'm like, what? And I run up to the stage. I take our trophy picture, and I'm texting our board of directors immediately. Oh my gosh, you guys. So we now have a voice at the national level on the board of directors. And I'm excited about that. So that's 24. We go into 25. We have a great season in 24. We have close to 1,000 athletes attend the Cheyenne event. We went from 300 to now close to 1,000 athletes here in just one event over a 3-day period. So talk about growing. Yeah.
Wow.
We're growing, but we still have that financial burden, as a nonprofit out there trying to raise funds, campaigning, fundraisers. So I know challenges as Wyoming Senior Olympics executive director, that would probably be my top challenge. Then my second challenge is getting it out there, doing these networking events, podcasts, doing. I do little presentations to the city councils. I went and did Casper and I've done Rawlins. Just a small presentation of who we are, what we're doing. And then Senior Center here in Cheyenne, went and did a presentation there. That is how I feel we're going to get it out there, that what we're doing and why it is so important. There is my purpose. So let me jump back. In all that therapy and my one-on-one therapy, I said, I'm in a dark place right now. And that was in that 22, 23 beginning. I can't figure out what is going on up here. What am I missing? And she said, Shann, it's that purpose. I don't think you were feeling as though you had a purpose in life anymore. You lost it. And I thought about that. She was right. There was a period there. I wasn't really like giving to anything. And I was always that person giving. And now I wasn't giving. And I still had so much life in me. I still do.
Yes.
So much life in me that I wasn't giving. And now here I am giving back and my seniors. Now I have that purpose and I have that fight and I have a reason to live. Not just that isn't my only reason to live. I have a reason to live for Shann now. Right?
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true, but it's maybe even one of the things I love about the stories we get to hear on the podcast is, the voices of people who, found something
Passionate, that you're passionate about.
It's how we're wired. We need something.
Right.
Is there a story of, you share so many of them, but to help people get an understanding of what this does for a senior, for someone participating. Do you have any, just a good story of somebody?
There's also Sue. There's a Suzanne right now that lives here, Laramie. She lives in Laramie. She's a power lifter. Major injury. She was in Cowboy State Daily because we use them a lot too, but there was an article about her and she used Wyoming Senior Olympics, but she used powerlifting to come back. There are so many athletes like her though, right here in the state of Wyoming. There's so many great stories. Jerry Meyer, he'll be 100 and, November, he's still alive. He'll be 107 this year, 106 or 107 this year, still running. So many stories of them overcoming obstacles. It's that taking that first step, or as I put in my book I'm writing, there's a chapter of take that leap. And that was for me and Wyoming Senior Olympics. When I walked out of that meeting, it's, what do we do? It's, don't be afraid to take that leap. Don't be afraid to walk out your front door. Don't be afraid to raise your hand. Don't be afraid to open your mouth and let people hear you. Because you have something important to say. You have something important to show us. And just by showing up, just show up. You're going to make a difference for yourself, but you're going to make a difference for someone else.
I found the very inspiring. I think we've all had, moments where we've, purpose can be, especially among entrepreneurs or people who are very driven, are driven to great things, but also the lack of drive can be really dangerous. And I think she really showed that really well, that it's important to prioritize yourself and your motivations. I thought that was, and then just watching it, I just was kind of like, that's actually really important. I feel like she really portrayed that really well. And I think she's doing. The Senior Olympics is doing a lot of really great things and giving that kind of motivation to other people as well. I don't know. I think that's really cool.
Yeah. She's not an entrepreneur proper in the sense that she started her own business, and every once in a while we'll have rogue entrepreneurs on our podcast. Yeah. What attracted me about her was every time I see an entrepreneur that I want to have on the podcast is that she took the Senior Olympics from essentially it was at nothing when she stepped in. because of the big funding changes, but even before. So what she did was she took it from, with the lack of funding at the time, the funding dropped, she increased the Senior Olympics. So all money dropped, and she grew at the same time. She with the team at Senior Olympics. So I'm very impressed by that. I'm impressed by that growth. I'm impressed by the hustle, and of course her story. That's pretty cool. It reminds me of something. Every once in a while, I think about this concept in mental health that you need to. Sometimes we're bored. Sometimes we're just bored, and sometimes we have a lot of mental health maladies, not doing so well just because we're not living out our potential. There's more for us. And we might be too scared to jump into that big thing that we're supposed to do, or we might be trying to distract ourselves. It's often like there's more that's for us, but for some reason we're unwilling to do that. And for her, this was one way that she jumped in and found that purpose and some mental health clarity on that. So she shared with us afterwards some incredible stories as well. So if you have not connected with Shann Schinkel, she's a great speaker and an author working on a book, and she's got some more incredible stories. One was about getting trapped in a Tesla. So, Shann, we're so glad that you made it out of the Tesla and you're doing great. And until then, my friends, may we all not get trapped in Teslas and go build great things. Until then, my friends, happy sailing.